Chipotle is your favorite spot for lunch. You're probably out of luck today, as you already know. The popular Mexican food restaurant chain actually closed all their locations for several hours to go over some new safety precautions with their employees. In fact, we dug a little deeper for you. Chipotle is trying to change public perception after more than 60 customers across the country got sick from an E. coli outbreak, and that is where Jason Law comes in, 9 on Your Side's investigative reporter. He's here now with how our local Chipotles have done when the health inspectors came knocking. Jason, what'd you find out?
Craig, we're live tonight outside of the Newport Chipotle, which, like all Chipotles in the country, opened up today at 3 o'clock instead of 11. Now, there are literally dozens of Chipotle restaurants throughout the Tri-State. The I-Team set out to find out what health inspectors find when they go through these kitchens.
Megan O'Keefe said she wasn't going to take a chance. After she heard about the E. coli outbreak at Chipotle restaurants around the country, she decided to stay away.
I just didn't want to get sick. The
popular restaurant chain has had a rough winter. Chipotle's reputation took a hit, and so did its wallet. Profits are reported to be down 15%. The company's stock prices dropped more than a quarter. We wanted to see for ourselves if any of our local restaurants have had problems in the kitchen.
Thank you, guys.
9 on Your Side's I-Team requested inspection reports from more than 30 Chipotles around the Tri-State. Out of more than 100 reports, we found 22 critical violations for things like food being kept under temperature and employees not properly washing their hands. A handful of people last year blamed Chipotle for making them sick. According to the records, inspectors were called to this Eastgate Chipotle 3 times after 3 different customers complained of food poisoning. A subsequent inspection found one employee handling leaf lettuce with bare hands, but the health department couldn't find evidence the restaurant made the people sick. The same thing happened in May when someone complained of illness after eating at this Chipotle in Fairfield. An inspector did find rice sitting out of temperature, but again, no one could definitively say the restaurant made anyone sick. And it turns out, health inspectors rarely make that connection.
In the cases that we see, it's very hard to do.
Jeremy Hessel has been inspecting restaurants for 15 years. He says Hamilton County receives between 50 to 100 complaints of food poisoning every year. But Hessel estimates less than 5% of those cases are ever tied back to a restaurant.
If you don't get the complaint early, it's almost impossible to get a food sample that's representative of a particular case.
We did find plenty of Chipotles that passed their inspections with flying colors, like this one in Mason. The facility is very clean and well maintained. Great job. Customers in Clifton say they're not scared.
I feel like right now it's probably a real safe place to eat.
It's still good food, and until I die, I'm going to keep eating it.
And Megan O'Keefe, who stayed away from Chipotle for several weeks, is now back to having lunch with her friend.
But she loves Chipotle so much that she continued to eat here, and after about a month I was like, well, if you're okay, then I guess I'll try it again.
Now, Chipotle, which is based out of Denver, Colorado, came out with a whole slew of new policy and safety precautions, including new DNA testing for some of its ingredients and paid sick leave for employees so they don't feel compelled to come into work when they're sick. Now, how did your neighborhood Chipotle do when health inspectors came knocking? We have built an interactive map right now on WCPO.com. Click on there, look at the map, find your closest Chipotle, the one where you go to lunch or dinner the most, and you can find all the serious violations. Critical, non-critical, it's all spelled out, including Northern Kentucky's rating system. Go there, click on the map, find our full report on WCPO.com right now. We are live in Newport. Jason Law, 9 on Your Side.
Good information. Thank you, Jason.